Welcome to our fourth edition to City Spotlight. This particular edition is important because we're asking you to consider a 3/4 cent sales tax increase to shore up our revenues for the city of Midwest City. I've asked Guy Henson, our city manager, to come this afternoon and kind of walk us through why we're here and where we plan to go with this. With that being said, Mr. Henson, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, for giving me an opportunity to talk a little bit on this subject.
Raising taxes is not a light issue with any citizen, and I know this didn't come about in a vacuum. How did staff come to the decision to raise taxes and bring it forward to the council?
You're right, Mayor. Raising taxes is never a popular thing to do, especially in a period when everybody wants government to get smaller and not get bigger. As you know, currently our sales tax rate is 8.35%. 4.5% of that goes to the state and the balance comes to the city, so we get about 3.85%. That 3.85% is distributed out throughout the city. Almost 34% is earmarked for the police department, 27% for the fire department, and the balance goes to the general fund. You know, what we have experienced in the last 4 or 5 years is a trend of decreasing revenues while our costs continue to increase. Sales tax represents almost 75% of our general fund operating revenue, and with the advent of the internet, with competition from our sister cities in eastern Oklahoma County, with just an overall decline in the economy with regards to oil and gas and the state, budget dilemmas, we've just seen a decrease in revenues. And as I said, the cost of doing business hasn't decreased for us. So we were able to construct a budget this year by transferring monies from our enterprise accounts, which is our water, sewer, sanitation accounts, and some other accounts in the city. No growth, but just keeping things in place. We know, though, that we can't do that in the coming years, and so we've put together and presented to the city council, and the council has accepted the proposal, which is to increase the sales tax rate by 3/4 of a penny. The sales tax will go to help stabilize our income, our revenue, so that we can be in secure financial conditions if some emergency would happen to come about. But it will also help us to respond to and implement some of the recommendations that came from our studies of the police and fire department recently.
What kind of revenue do you expect to generate as a result of this tax increase?
It will generate, based upon our estimated revenues, about $6.4 million. Of that, 42% will actually go to the police department, and that's going to be worth to them about $2.7 million. To the fire department, 28%, which will be $1.8 million, and then the general fund, an additional 28 and change, which will generate the $1.8 million as well. So, and as I said before, it will help shore up these departments. It will get them to meet their minimum fund balances. The city council has required that city departments maintain at least a 5% reserve. The general fund a 10% reserve, and so it's there. That reserve is there to help shore up the operations of the city should something really go wrong. Our really only other alternative would be to do utility rate increases. The sales tax, though, offers a feature because we are kind of the breadbasket for eastern Oklahoma County, or historically have been there. What we find is that almost 40% of our sales tax revenue comes in from people that don't live in Midwest City that come and shop in Midwest City. And so we really felt like it was a better alternative to consider looking at the sales tax versus utility rate increases, because we know that the utility rate increases are going to hit hit all of our residents, whereas the sales tax allows some of the cost of our operations to be picked up by people that are coming into the community, using our facilities, and so as a result, they help pay for those services.
There's a lot of exciting stuff coming to Midwest City. Can you kind of highlight what we're looking at and what the upcoming attractions in Midwest City are?
We are taking the opportunities where they present themselves to develop or redevelop parts of the community, and we have successfully brought 2 anchors into the area of Southeast 15th and Sooner Road with the relocation of the Hobby Lobby and the addition of Academy. We are literally at the edge of breaking ground for the new Warren Theater, which will be an extension of that development, and then also an additional anchor retailer in Burlington Coat Factory. Along with that, there will be some additional restaurants and out parcels that will develop. So there really is a tremendous amount of retail attraction there. Now, of course, it's important for us, and we find ourselves in competition with a number of our sister cities, and so it's we work real hard to secure as many of the sales tax dollars that we can get in the community, because Mary, you know that as a municipality we do not have access to ad valorem property taxes for the day-to-day operations of the city, only for general obligation bonds. So we're the only state in the union that finds themselves in that situation, and so it's unfortunate that we have to compete with our sister cities, but be assured that we are working on it every day to make sure that we get as many sales tax dollars flowing into the city as we can.
A lot of people think that government as a whole, and municipal government in particular, is fat, and we've got a lot of fat in our budget, and that we're not good stewards of our money. What steps were taken prior to proposing this sales tax increase?
Well, as you said, we're always conscious of trying to be good stewards of the public money, and whenever we have opportunities, whenever they're presented to us as to how we might be able to reconfigure the organization to lower our expenses, yet preserve and keep intact the essential services that we deliver, we are always looking for those opportunities. This past year, we did a substantial reorganization within the public works area. Now, those are enterprise accounts, but they do represent an effort on our part to reorganize to gain efficiencies. We will keep positions open when necessary. We will work at trying to continue to deliver a product with fewer personnel associated with it. We want to continue to be able to provide competitive pay plan for the employees and competitive services to our citizens. And so this is kind of status quo with our current employees, adding a few to the police and fire departments, but I just don't want anybody to think that people are going to get rich as a result of this increase, because what we're doing with this revenue is shoring up our existing operations.
Well, thank you for spending time with us this afternoon. I appreciate it. I know you're busy, because my schedule usually follows your schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, we are embarking on a new era in Midwest City and providing services for our citizens. We're also trying to improve the quality of life of our citizens and improve the amenities that attract new citizens to our community and grow our community. I ask that you be informed as possible about the sales tax initiative. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to call us or contact us with your questions or concerns. Thank you and have a good afternoon.